Hey guys, what's going on? A good Tuesday morning to you. Been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of reflecting. And for those of you who know, last week lost my job working in news for 20 plus years. But really, so I've been thinking a lot about those 20 years, and in those 20 plus years of working in news, I learned a lot of things. But one of the things that I learned um, at or near the top of the list is my appreciation for a good, compelling story. Um, and a compelling story doesn't always mean that it's a happy story. It doesn't always mean that it's a good story. Sometimes a compelling story is a sad story. Sometimes it's a tragic story, but it's an interesting story. So it just so happens that that I have an ability to tell a pretty compelling story right now. A lot of times in news, I found that when we tell stories, a lot of times it happens kind of after the fact. Well, the opportunity that I have in front of me is to tell a compelling story as it develops, and it just so happens that compelling story is mine, and um, it's kind of exciting. I really don't like putting myself out there like that, and I've really kind of struggled with this to really fully open up the way I'm thinking about doing this, um, because really nobody cares. Is kind of the way I approach it. But at the same point in time, maybe there is somebody out there who could benefit from it. Maybe somebody could hear, you know, the messages of positivity, and maybe it could help them in their life. So I guess I hope people watch, and I hope people follow, and I hope people pay attention. But then again, on the other hand, if nobody does, I still want to do it because for two reasons. It kind of helps me. Talking about stuff like this and talking about big life things seems to help keep me focused. So if nobody watches it, at least I'm talking about it, um, and it's making me feel better. Uh, Another thing is it's holding me accountable. So if I'm always constantly preaching the power of positivity, and that is really how I feel. But at the same point in time, there's no human being out there that's walking around and is always thinking those positive thoughts and never has any doubt, never questions himself. Um, so I think it kind of reminds me. I know that there are gonna be some tough times ahead from what I'm about to tell you, all the stuff that's going on, but I think that it's gonna help kind of hold me accountable, and also knowing that I got a little 6 year old boy who will one day kind of understand more than he understands right now, and you know anybody who knows me knows I have a terrible memory. My memory is awful. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Um, but so I surely won't remember to this degree if I document it the way I plan on documenting it, so that maybe one day he can see that life isn't always or it's not at all about what happens to you, but how do you react to it? How do you respond to it? And do you get back up, or do you lay around and you feel sorry for yourself and stuff like that? So the compelling story is this, and this is not. I sit back and I just say, wow, this is pretty interesting, and not knowing how it's going to turn out. Really, frankly, I have no idea. It could turn out really, 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 really bad, or it could turn out really, 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 really good. But I'm not afraid to kind of put it out there, um, because whatever happens, happens. All I know is that I'm gonna try my best, because that's all I can do. And that's another thing I tell my kid all the time. If you go out there and you give everything you have, you try your best, and you lose, well, you didn't really lose because you really did try your best. So again, I'm just gonna see what I can do and see what happens, see where it takes us, and I'm not afraid to fail. You know what? What's gonna happen? What's the worst that could possibly happen? You fail. All right, it's money, but whatever. I don't want to fail for my kid. That's what I focus on. I care about is him. But I'm not afraid to fail, and if I do, I'm not afraid for people to know that I failed. Um, so here's the deal. And I took some notes here because it's pretty wild. March 19th of 2020, Corona takes effect, obviously, and gyms in West Virginia are shut down. Obviously, as a gym owner, not a good day, not a good day at all. 1 month later, in April of 2020, tore my knee up. And for anybody working in the industry that I work in, you kind of need your knee um, to be able to demonstrate exercises and stuff like that. So it was it was rough. In June, I have surgery on my knee. Now I had meniscus repair. If they take it out, it's not really that big of a deal. But they thought they could repair it, and if they repair it, it's a much longer recovery. On the back end, later down the road, it's much better because you're not going to need a knee replacement in 15 to 20 years. But it was a really long recovery because it has to heal itself first before you begin physical therapy. So that took out my whole summer. But and we don't have people coming to the gym because of the corona, not nearly as much as we would normally. And I'm still paying trainers, I'm still paying electric bills, sewer bills, all that sort of stuff. But I can't do anything myself because I'm laid up. So that was kind of a bummer. Go down to December, and playing catch up from the last couple of months. I get into a situation where I got the 401k sitting there, and I'm out of money. I'm finito. So cashed in that 401k, thinking, all right, this is it. And if this is an investment into the building that I own, I can chalk it up as a win because it's an investment either way. Um, and by the way, in that time, my TV job had been kind of keeping the gym afloat as well. So between the TV job and the 401k, we're still rolling. All right. So that was December, cash in the 401k. We go to February, and oh crap, man, I re-injured my knee that I had just had surgery on in the summertime, and it's not feeling real good. So then March 1st of 2021, go to the doctor, find out, got to get an MRI, and it's likely that I have to have another knee surgery. That stinks. That's a bummer. Um, and then 2 days later, March 3rd, I go into work and I find out that my company has just slashed everything and cut 5% of their employees across the country. So nearly 500 people, including me, out without a job. Worked there for almost 20 years. It's right across the street from where I live. Um, it's just a really unique situation, and I'm not mad at all. I'm actually, I'm kind of thankful. Um, but I still marvel at it, and I never will stop marveling at it because it's insane. It's just crazy. So there's a lot of layers to it. So I find out the job's gone. So the job that was supporting the gym because of the corona, right, and the 401k associated with that job that had just been cashed in are now no longer here. So now here's what we're looking at. You see it square one. Uh, I think that like this. So in those 20 plus years, because of the 2 years that I worked in Bluefield, West Virginia before I moved to Charleston, um, they weren't a waste, man. They weren't a waste at all. I learned a lot of things. I learned about storytelling. I learned how to tell a story. I learned how to appreciate a good story. I learned how to shoot, write, edit, act in front of a camera. So does all that stuff just have to go away? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. With technology being what it is nowadays, there's a lot of stuff out there, and there's a lot of stuff out there beyond the city of Charleston, West Virginia, which has now under 50,000 people in its population. So the support has been amazing, and I thank everybody for all the support. It's been incredible. One of the coolest things that I heard was someone said, not everybody can say they use WCHS as a springboard. I think it was as a springboard to a YouTube channel, and honestly, like I kind of look at it like that. Now, a lot of people out there have YouTube channels, right? But not a lot of people out there have YouTube channels who have 20 plus years of experience doing all the stuff that I've done. So I really feel like I can continue to use the a platform in a much better way, much bigger way, and I'm really excited to do so. Um, Brainstorming ideas and things that we can bring to the table that incorporate two of my passions. I love telling stories and I love helping people. Informing people on the news, that's cool. I enjoyed that. I loved it. I wouldn't have done it for so long if I didn't. But really, helping people is cooler. If you can make an immediate difference in somebody's life and help them for the better, that's a pretty good feeling. More so than just talking into a camera and you don't see faces. You don't get that immediate right there. So I'm excited about this opportunity, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know how it's going to turn out. It could fall flat on its face and whatever. But if it does, hey, I'll know that I tried, and I'll know that I went out giving it my all, and that's all you can do. So I really appreciate everybody for watching and And again, I always say my little 6-year-old says, smash that like and make sure you subscribe. I can't believe that it's come to this for me, but I'm really I'm really excited about it, and we got some cool stuff, some cool story ideas that I'm working on right now, working on setting them up and whatnot. Things are a little bit crazy. It hasn't even been a week since I lost my job, but I just want again, the message that I want to continue to hammer home is just stay positive in life, man. You know, things could usually be worse, and you just got to keep trucking, man. A lot of people in West Virginia, well, they know Rich Rodriguez, and you know the backstory there. You know it's not always a good name to say in this place. But back in the day, man, Rich really had it humming, and he used to talk about chopping wood. All right, just got to keep chopping, keep chopping, keep chopping. So the story behind it is basically, all right, a guy goes out in the woods, sees a big tree, all right, and he's gonna chop that tree down. He's gonna use that tree for some firewood, right? So he gets his axe, takes a big swing at that thing. And he's like, well, that didn't do a whole lot. Takes the axe again, swings at it again. And you can barely even tell. Swings it a few more times. He's like, man, that's that's not going anywhere. So he goes home for the day, calls it a day. All right, the next day he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go try it again. Let me give that a shot. Let me try it one more time. Goes out there, takes another couple swings at it. He sees maybe just a little bit of movement in that tree, like not movement, but like it like made a little bit of a dent. So that was enough to make him come out for a third day. All right, and then kind of slowly but surely he saw just a little bit. But then he thought back to what it was when he first started and it didn't do anything, right? But he stayed consistent. He stayed consistent with it. He kept chopping that tree, kept swinging at it every day. Guess what? That tree eventually fell down. All right. So all you got to do is just keep chopping, man. Keep chopping that wood. And that tree's going to fall. All right. Promise you that. Promise you that. But I really thank you for watching this, and please stay tuned as we see where this thing goes, because we have no idea.